Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel, where I look into what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal.
You can book personal readings on my website, rosieinsights.com. Rosie and Karina News Digest. Rosie Insights started about 7 years ago as Rosie Psychic Investigator, looking at news related to the Trump administration. Over the years, I have followed the practice of doing research about what's going on in the news, making that a core feature of my content. As of November 7th, 2024, I have had Karina as my daily guest slash partner for the series after the election. We are committed to working as a pair on this series at least until this election situation is resolved. Karina lives in Arizona, loves crystals, and is a certified aromatherapist. She is working on her website for private client healing appointments. We'll share her info once it's ready. Karina started as Rosie's, meaning my client, about 5 years ago, and then we became friends and started sharing the conversations we were having privately already. This channel is about looking at current news and events through an intuitive lens and sharing intuitive information. This content is for entertainment purposes only. Trust your intuition. This channel is just one source. Do your research, trust your intuition. You are the master of your own beliefs. What we won't do: conform. We do not conform with what other channels say necessarily. This is an independent channel, as is theirs. If you have a question about what you heard on another channel, ask that channel. On to today's episode. If you like this video, subscribe and press like. Thank you for watching.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie and Corinne, Psych Investigators. Okay. So,
Hello.
happy Sunday. It's Sunday, December 15th. It's almost 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm recording here with Karina. So, today, we're doing answering some questions and then going over some video from TikTok, because Karina was telling me that she found videos on TikTok on people discussing the election. So let's share here and then we'll talk about it, okay? Okay, so we paused and then I'm just back here just to share the screen. Okay, and this is a video. So Karina, do you want to talk about it, because you're the one who found this? So the video
Sure,
I'm gonna watch.
absolutely. Um, Actually, it was sent to me, and it's just a short clip, and I believe it's from a foreign policy gentleman, and he was talking. Obviously, we're going to play the video and let you hear, but it seems to me I've been receiving a lot of videos like this lately from people that I don't have TikTok, so I can't watch them. So they actually send them to my husband or son, and I watch them, or they're the ones sending them to me or letting me see them. So my take on this is, all of a sudden it seems to be popping up on social media platforms that people are talking about Trump not getting in and what they've been seeing, and it's starting to become more mainstream. And to me, when it hits the social platforms like that, those are such massive platforms that is getting out into the ethers big time. And they're talking about, you know, this election being stolen and how Trump can't get into office. So it is really, really starting to pop up in these places. And I think that's a really good thing. And We're, I watched another one last night from a veteran that said the same thing from what he's with. He's been in military all his life. There's no way this is going to happen. We have a couple options that could take place. So to me, when I'm seeing stuff like this, it's just great for what we've been talking about because we feel the same way. And it's actually starting to get into mainstream, not by our media. So please don't base anything on that. I think you get more raw information by the people
Mhm.
that are telling the raw stories.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna just play.
I know we only really have about 2 weeks until elections start having to be certified. I think we're going to see some crazy shit happen. I think everyone needs to get prepared. There's no way they're just going to let this go if everything I'm seeing is accurate. So get prepared. Shit's going to hit the fan. Shit is about to hit the fan. I think we're going to have a major announcement within the next 2 weeks. I don't think Donald Trump will ever be sworn into office. I think we're going to find out about what will be considered and called the crime of the century. I think we're going to hear about this soon. I know we only really have about 2 weeks until elections start having to be certified. I think we're going to see some crazy shit happen. I think everyone needs to get prepared. There's no way they're just going to let this go if everything I'm seeing is accurate. So get prepared. Shit's going to hit the fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's stop share now. So I'm just gonna go back here to get the all right. Okay. So I was just gonna see here. Let's see here. Question. So because I think I listened to this because Queen of course sent me this then and I was listening to it earlier today and I was thinking to ask the way he said it, it was something like will Trump so he was saying he doesn't think that Trump will
Be inaugurated
no because
president.
the way he said it, it's like I don't think if we have used this term before, but I liked how he said it. He doesn't think that
Yeah.
Trump will be sworn into office. So the question is, and I think it's a good way to like to go base it off of like what he said, right? Using his
Oh,
words. Okay.
yeah.
So let's ask, okay, did I do the protection? No, I don't think I did, right? No.
No, you didn't do. Go ahead
So,
and do protection.
okay, so actually, all right, so it's funny now. Okay. I like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that it create the good and only the good. And so it is. Okay, so going back here to, okay. So the question, will Trump, now I got the odds.
Yeah, I got
So,
mine too.
all right, so will Trump, okay, so is my name Rosalie? Do I have a polka dot top on? Do I have a red top on?
No.
Do I have blonde hair? No. Okay.
No.
Oh, all right. So, okay, so will Trump be sworn into office? Not no man, no more.
No.
Oh.
Mm, mm. No move. No, they go far apart.
So then the next question could be something like because then that would be like a yes. It's like, so is this person, so the whole thing comes from this the statement this person made that Trump, is this person correct when he said Trump will not be sworn into office? Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so is this person
And he
correct?
was yeah,
Is it
he was
correct?
a foreign policy person.
Well, he's calling himself that. We don't know that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we can't verify that. That's his name, but as to what's his specialized on. But let's see. So we don't know that he works in the same, or we don't know that. I was just saying like that's his interest, right? But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a foreign policy. I'm sorry, I should have clarified. I don't know if that's his job, but that's what his
That's
title was, foreign
his name.
policy. Yeah.
That's his channel's name. Okay, so that's what
Yes,
we talked about.
yes. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
It's okay. That's okay. It's just we didn't know. Well, online you never know it necessarily, so it's okay. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He raised a
People.
question and he said almost exactly what we said. So
Mhm.
it's right that Trump will not be sworn into office. Then now I think we can ask why. Why is he right? What happens? Why 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 is he right about this? Tell me what informs this. What is going to happen that will prevent Trump from being sworn into office?
He sees the crime of the century. He sees the whole crime. He can
Okay.
see.
No, but I'm asking the vision, Corina, not what I know he said that. That's what he said, but what do you see?
Yeah, he can see. They're showing me a vision of what he sees, and he sees the crime laid out in front of him. He can see the connection between Russia, Leon, Trump, deal. He sees it all. He had like he's looking at a map of
No,
connections.
I understand. I understand, Karina. That's not the question. The question is, what are the actual events? Because it doesn't make sense. And I'll tell you what I saw. Maybe that will help.
Oh, to keep him from being sworn in. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
What are
Yes.
the
Okay.
facts that will keep him? So, in other words, of course, I saw he clarified it. He said why. He said it's quite a century, but that the question was what happens that will, because we got the answer already through the rods, right? That it's not going to, that he's not going to happen. But then I asked Spirit, why? Tell us why. Why is it true then Trump is not going to be sworn into office? Okay, so that was not
Mm-hmm.
okay. So I tell you what I got because so the question really was about that, about the events, ask Spirit to show
Right.
or whatever it is. So I'll tell you what I got, okay, which is that I saw the two things that there's like, when people count money that has, but it's like votes. So the votes don't count, like they're counting the votes and they say, no, not enough, you don't have the votes. And the other thing is, it showed that the whole thing of like the Russia thing, whatever, there's the whole thing that we've always believed that he is getting paid by foreign countries. So that shows me that it somehow comes into play as well in that event. Now the question is, um, I guess sworn into office happens on the day of the inauguration, right? That's when he's sworn into
Mm-hmm.
office. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so then the other thing that okay, so did you get, so now that, or do you want more time, or now did do you want?
No, because I get the bigger picture of everything. So I don't see those individual details of what,
Okay,
because
all
I
right.
just see the whole crime. I see the whole crime. So, and other people are seeing the whole crime. So that's what I get. I'm not going any deeper than
Okay,
that.
all right. So it's just because the question is, since we were asking about
Yeah.
um if what happens, that what is the reason why they he's not, so we got the answer, right? At least, right? Okay.
Right. Right.
So then the next question is, so he said, and again, I'm asking this, I'm going to ask from let me just kind of get to I'm going to
Shit is about to hit the fan. I think we're going to have a major announcement within the next 2 weeks. I don't think Donald Trump will ever be sworn into office. I think we're going to find out about what will be considered and called the crime of the century. I think we're going to hear about this soon. I know we only really have about 2 weeks until elections start having to be certified. I think we're going to see some crazy shit happen.
Okay. So he mentioned, I guess, that this part of the elections, but so he also, like me, like you, I think we said the thing about it before, we have 2 weeks before the elections are certified. So my question is, again, assuming that this part we're asking, we saw what he said, but from the perspective of him, does this make sense? Like asking from,
Mm-hmm.
like he said that,
Mm-hmm.
why does this guy, and I'm not talking about his logic, I'm talking about
Right.
what is it about? He said that basically you can ask this. Mr. Leonard James Zero said that um okay, so okay. let's see here. So it will be election certified deadline, I think, right? Is important according
Yeah,
to Leonard James. Why? I mean, I know, but I'd like to know why, what,
right.
so, okay,
Because then there's another deadline after that we can ask that we've asked about before.
okay,
It's
but
the
let's see.
45-day one.
Okay, so
So
this, okay, so since we were talking about the video that we just, why they were discussing it, so he mentioned, this person mentioned, we have this too, so this video is a little, is not that super recent, but he mentioned that from his perspective, the election certification deadline is important. The question is why and what,
Yep.
and whether it will something. So why is it important? Let's see, asking spirit. So why is it the election deadline certification important according to what he said?
Excuse me if you can hear me cough. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay, interesting. Then I just see this image of Trump putting his, like if certified, he puts his hand in and then he goes in and then all these lawyers come and they will say, no, 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 we're in, we're get out, get out, get out. So then the legal thing, it creates a legal problem for the good people because then he can try to take power. This is much more dangerous to get him out, much harder to get him out. So, okay, so then the question doesn't make sense. So that's sense. Okay,
Yeah.
now the question is, let's ask like this. So it was just an interesting entry point into this. So the next would be, let's see, do Biden and Lloyd Austin think the certification will they act before or before before or on that deadline? How important is this deadline to them? Okay. So like, because basically this is of course just, oh, the question that came to me here, because right, these are the people that are in power of the military and whatever, not whatever, like, right? I know
Right.
there's intelligence agencies. Oh, and other people have mentioned we should talk about her, Avril Haines. So she's the head of the DNI, which is the head of all the intelligence agencies. So there's that report that she's supposed to issue. But let's ask this question first. So do Biden and Austin, which is the Secretary of Defense, right? Think the certification deadline is important. Will they act? Let's first ask this with the words. So do Biden and Lloyd Austin think, wow, yes, the certification deadline is important? Yes. Okay,
Yes.
yes, a yes. Then the
Yeah.
second question. Okay, so the second question. Will they act before or on that deadline? Yes, I'm getting an yes.
Yes. Me too.
Okay, and then the next part. How important, no, of course, we can't answer. It's not a yes or no question. So how important is this deadline to them? So let's look now with
Okay.
this close. So do Biden and Lloyd Austin think their certification deadline important before they act for that deadline? So, okay, I say what I see.
Yes.
I see that by both of them putting their feet in front of the door so that Trump doesn't get in, so that he falls if you were to try to get in. And then I see they pull a heavy gate down. So nope, no, no, sir. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. So so that is, and then I see this people like, oh my God, what? So
Mhm.
something happening. Okay, so that's what I got.
Yeah.
You got something, Karina?
I saw the same thing. You know how the storage units have those pull down doors?
That's right,
That,
exactly that. Yes.
that's exactly what I saw too. The door being like every door and every window on the White House had one of those
Okay.
doors.
All right. Okay.
Like
All
there's no way in hell.
right. Okay. So, all right. So, okay. So let me just 1 second. Okay. So now we talked about Biden and Lloyd Austin. So now let's talk about Avril Haines. So she's the director of national intelligence. The question is, what does she know? Is she going to make any reports public? By the way, the director of national intelligence is the person that the heads of all the other agencies have to report to. So CIA, NSA, whatever, they report
Hmm.
to her, the heads, right? So she's the head of the heads. Capo de capi. So, okay, all right, so that's it. So let's ask. So Avril Haines, what does she know? Is she going to make any reports public? Wow, I see her at the White House in the control room, right? This
Hmm.
and I
Hmm.
see interesting. She's pointing out with the pointer thing. She's like, this is, and I see something like the drones. Then I see the image of these drones. She's like, this is where it comes from. This is that. This is that. We can't. And then I see she invites also people from the different agencies and they're discussing. So it's
Hmm.
essentially it's saying that this is that they have the information now. These agencies are not. I don't think they any of them have. Or I guess the why do I have this white thing in my face? It's so weird. I don't know. So so anyway, so that's what I see that she's telling the White House this is information, is where they are. This is like so but then I see that it's the Lloyd Austin, like so she's the gives them the information, and then Biden with others decide what actually is done, meaning some sort of like law enforcement, the actual action, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't tell the action. She tells what's going on, what is shady about it, but she has all the information about who the people doing this are and where they're located and blah blah blah. So,
Hmm.
oh, interesting.
Hmm.
I see also that Christopher Wray is there, also giving information. He has to. He hasn't quit yet,
Yeah.
right? So, so,
Right.
so that's what I see. Now the question is, so is she going to make any reports public? And then does she also think that the certification is important? So is she going to make her? Yes, I see that she writes. That's right, but I see that it's mostly Biden. He said because this is the kind of thing where
Hmm.
he's the chief, he's the CEO. Basically, he's the one who makes the decisions, he's the one who takes the responsibility for the actions. So he's the one, she's more the behind the scenes person. So
Right.
she supports the information, supports that. So saying this is a person, for example, who compiles the intelligence reports.
Right.
So that's what I see.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
wow.
it kind of has to come out together because if he's trying to explain what's going on, he's got to tell people about this stuff,
Exactly.
you
So
know?
saying that
So it's,
yeah, what they can't do
yeah.
right now is saying is to give something
Mm-mm.
that sounds very academic. It has to
Mm.
be, that's why Biden in some ways is better than just like, oh, I'm
Right.
the director of intel, right? So it has to be something that comes from him because it's such a big decision. So, all right, then, um,
Yeah.
uh,
This is going to be something we've never seen before. So it has to come from the commander in chief.
mhm. Okay, so that is good. Now I have an idea, Karina. It's like we're recording it in progress and everything. So I feel like maybe the next question would be what to expect this week. Okay. I mean, I know we do know, by the way, that in terms of dates, and I was talking to Karina about the dates. Karina was like, well, dates could change and this and that. But still we have the deadline. Okay, today is the 15th. That is on Tuesday, the 17th, right? This is a deadline for this
Mhm.
application. So so I'm not it doesn't make sense. So regardless, so let's check. Do we still see or do I mean, and because I was asking Karina, she's like, well, let's just keep asking. We'll keep asking, right? So we had some technical difficulties and we're back. So back to the question, are we still on for this week? Meaning are things, and again, understanding that things sometimes could maybe happen or not. But given how important all the players seem to see this date this week or these dates, let's see here. Let's just ask, are we still, how do we ask this, Gwen? Are we on or?
Well, we can just say it. Are we on track for the events that we would like to see this week? Because it would need to be the stopping of the certification, correct?
That's right.
That's what we would need to see this week.
Yeah, just see, because, and I get the sense, the same thing you said before, that it's so, maybe we don't even know what the hell they're gonna do, because it's.
Exactly.
So is this, do we see, is this okay, let's just ask like this. Is this going to be an important week
Yeah,
for,
there you go. Let's
the
do it that
country?
way. Let's start.
like this. So is my name Rosie? Okay. All right. Am I blonde? No.
No.
Okay. So, all right. So this week we and others have seen that this could be a very important week because the deadline is on Tuesday for the certification. Should happen on Tuesday. So are we still, we saw that both Biden and Lloyd Austin think that it's a big deal. And also Avril Haines, right? So is this going to be a big week in terms of developments related to the election?
I'll get a yes.
Okay. Okay, so okay, so okay, so okay, so let's say by let's say by Washington time zone on this 11:59 p.m. on the 17th of December. Okay, well, let's see here. Will the is that the question? Will the election
Will a certification take place?
for
Then we
Trump,
can ask.
let's say
Let's just see if a certification will take place.
okay, will a certification take place? Say yes. Will a
Mine
certification?
aren't moving.
Okay, so can you
So
okay.
let's ask it differently because mine aren't doing it. Let me ask it again. Will a certification take
Okay, can we pause 1 second, quick? Let's just determine what it is that you're asking about exactly. So
I asked, will a certification take place?
election certification.
Yes, nothing. They're not moving.
Whether, okay, let's say here, whether for Biden or Kamala, will there be an election certification for Biden? No, sorry, for Trump or Kamala? Will there be a election certification for this on the 17th? Will there be a elections, whether it's Trump or
Yeah, I gotta know.
you get a no? Interesting. That's okay. That's okay. I get a yes. Interesting. Okay, that's okay. We don't have to. Okay, this is big. Agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
That influx thing.
Okay, can you then ask why? Can you do, since you were the one who saw that it's possible that it may not happen, can you ask your guides why?
Okay, I'm seeing the 17th being an important date, obviously. But I'm also seeing a few dates after that. So let me ask, okay, so what you're saying. Okay, and I'm going to say this as best as I can because I have to just say what I get.
Okay, no, go ahead.
And what I get is the dates are still kind of in flux because like what I saw was a piece of paper, but another piece of paper over that for me not to see the certain date. Like it was covered up. So, what they're kind of giving me the impression is certain things have to line up for exactly us to do this, us to do that.
But
so
okay.
Our dates kind of depend on what happens in other parts of the world is what I get. So for me, those dates could change.
Okay, so, but I guess my question then becomes, because of course we have this date, that's when it's supposed to be official. So if Biden doesn't go ahead with this, that would be a big deal somehow, I feel like, right? It's like
Right.
Trump's not gonna be, they're not gonna be silent about it. So what is gonna like, doesn't, that's the only thing is
Yeah.
that regardless, I don't see that it will be like, I don't, so
And then the 20th is that's the 45 days that he has from the election date. Remember, we looked into that one time before, it showed us, and that we looked it up and it was official that he has 45 days.
that's right.
So I'm seeing the 17th and the 20th. Those are the two dates that I kept seeing. But I am feeling that we will know something by the end of the week. I mean, I still feel that, even though I get the dates could be a little in flux.
Okay, so
I mean, I feel that we're still going to have some sort of information this week.
okay.
So
All right.
maybe that's how we should look at it.
But no, okay, I'm sorry, I disagree. Just because of, just as a thing, with putting aside whatever the date may it changes or not. That's right, anything is possible, right? But
Yeah.
the thing is, we have this country has this date for certification of votes and is not flexible as far as I know. Okay, unless something were to right, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we can also ask what happens on the 17th. Okay, that's another way to ask, because I don't think that it would be kosher or that it would really happen. They're like, oh, 17th. So, oh no, it's not going to happen. And everybody's going to be quiet and everything is going to go smoothly.
Mm-mm,
Something has to
mm-mm,
happen.
mm-hmm.
So this is why it doesn't make sense. So
Mm-hmm.
something has to happen. And I don't see, because it's such a big date for Trump. And I'm sure those people, let's say like this, what does Trump expect to happen on the 17th? We can start that way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What does Trump expect to happen on the 17th? Yes, I want. It's like, yeah, I got it. Okay, that's it. So does it happen? Does Trump get what he wants on the 17th?
No, I just heard no.
No. And I see that he's like, they, and then they get his hands. No, you can't go in. It's not here. It's not clear
Yeah.
here. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's when I see that April, she's saying there's like, we have reports that the voting system was interfered, was broke, was breached.
Breached.
And we have that, and the voting, what is it, the tabulations were changed. So yes, so yes, it comes out. I see that they come out with this information.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so have it, let me ask this, so is the information, or this information that Trump, the tabulation, is this information coming out on or by the 17th? That the vote, is there information that the votes were changed? There was, you get no, interesting.
No, actually, now I'm hearing in my ear they have to say something on the 17th. So it has to be, yes, it has to be told.
Oh,
So
yes.
why,
Okay.
what are the 2 days?
So, okay,
Yeah.
so interesting.
Okay.
So then, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean, does make sense, Karen? So I think even if it doesn't, actual certification doesn't happen on that date, it has to, something has to happen in order for it to be delayed. That's what I got. Oh,
Right.
and then I see Biden signing an executive order to
Mm-hmm.
postpone it if it, so, okay, so then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
and then now, okay, so then so then go back here.
Yeah. And that was the better way to ask it, because we asked if Trump would get what he wanted. That's when we got the answers. So you asked it the perfect way,
Okay,
is
all
what
right.
I was
So,
told
okay.
too.
So, all right. So then now how, because again, it's not that I believe, the whole thing of like, oh, civil, like, but knowing what we know about Trump, he's a con man, and the people that he's around, that are around him, what are they going to do when this comes out? How are they going to react? Let's say, like, now I think we have to look into Elon Musk, because he's never leaves Trump's side, right, these days. So, and I think, I'm sure that okay, oh, let's ask like this. What does Elon Musk expect? Let's see here. Maybe I should have, okay, what does Elon Musk expect to happen on December 17th. Okay, let's ask. What does Elon Musk expect to happen? Which is Tuesday, but okay, yeah, we'll go, yeah, it's ours. It's mine, it's mine. It's like it's and so that's what he's like, yeah, I did it, and that's when he can brag about it even more. So that's what he expects. But what actually happens? What does that? And I see the color leaving. His face is completely white.
Drained. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
He's
he's
freaking out.
speechless. He's speechless.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that Putin is like, we told him to shut up. We told him to shut up. Elon Musk talking people want to know. They want to know what is happening. And then he bragging, big mouth, bragging. People catch him. You have to throw him down building. Then you so so really like I see that, and then I see that they're just shocked. And
Yeah.
they can't react because they're so shocked.
Right.
So wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
then I have a question. Then and it's interesting because these questions come up as the information comes out. So how can Biden and the government, how can the Biden and his okay and okay, how can Biden hold this hold this how can I make sure that in fact it will not happen given how violent, deceitful, and shady Trump, Elon Musk, and their minions can be. Okay, I mean, granted, he's the president, so of course, I'm sure. Okay, so but still, that's the question immediately that follows. So, how can Biden make sure that in fact it will not happen? Let's say not it. Let's say in fact, the certification, in fact, will not happen given how violent, deceitful, and shady Trump, Elon Musk, and everything is going to be. How can he can make sure? It's saying, well, he has a big mouth and he lied about all of this. They did not win the election because they got their big mouth and their media to side with them. That doesn't mean that's just not truthful. That isn't true.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and okay, so this is it. And then I see, but then again, another question, given like we saw what happened with ABC News, how they had to pay off Trump when just because they said something that he didn't like or whatever. So how can we make sure that the same thing is not going to happen here? Like, it doesn't make sense. If the media is so pro-Trump now,
Mm-hmm.
how can Biden make sure that his information, saying he's the president,
Yeah.
he can speak to the American people. He's the president, not them. It's saying.
Yeah. Exactly. And once he presents everything, the truth, like I said before, it's so egregious that you can't help but see it glaring in your face. Yes. And I honestly I get to, but by that time, Trump's voters are already having buyer's remorse big time.
Mm,
So yeah, I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think. I think there's going to be a lot more people that are happy and relieved.
okay.
But once he presents it, he has to present the truth and the facts.
Okay. All right. So in other words, so that makes sense. That makes sense. And also it's saying he has law enforcement, military, they have to follow, right? They have to follow.
Right, right,
That's how it is. It's like we have the huge everything on our side. They just have
right.
lies, fascism, and bullshit. So okay.
Exactly. They have words on their side and
Okay.
maybe a few lazy guys, but they don't have anything else.
Okay. So then next Sunday is the 22nd of December. So let's ask like this. Let's see here. Let's see. December 22nd. What will Trump's situation be regarding the election? And what will the certification situation be? Okay, so next Sunday, December 22nd, what will Trump's situation be regarding the election? And what will the certification situation be? I see. And then, okay, so,
Same thing. He's freaking out, panicked. They all are.
and I see that Kamala is like, she has a glow in her face. I feel like she's not, I see that it's interesting. She's wearing, it's so fascinating because I see the date of inauguration, she's wearing a shiny silk taffeta, maybe, I don't know what fabric, the thick fabric, very elegant for the inauguration. On the video the image I see here, I see her wearing a cream ivory color or like light khaki type color, meaning it's close. It's interesting. The whole like she's very close to the outfit of the inauguration. So that's interesting. So that's what I see that it's saying, I feel like it's not 100% yet official, but she's very close. And it's saying she's like, thank you guys for sticking with me. We had to look into, as a former prosecutor, I know that investigations can be unpredictable and it could take some time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. She's a lot closer than we think. And she can feel it. And her biggest thing is, honestly, she felt bad about not being able to tell the American public the truth, because she is a truth seeker and she's a truth teller. And she will be a president like that. And so that's the hardest thing that she goes through. But once it all comes out, she's going to be really comfortable telling everybody why she couldn't speak.
All right. Okay. And so I saw, okay, so then, and then so this is going to be, guys, for here, for you, those of you watching, it's going to be basically the last part of the kind of wrapping up here, the questions for today. Just the last thing, comment on something. Comment on a comment. So I saw that someone said that they had read somewhere. I think that, of course, and I don't doubt it. I'm pretty sure it's very likely that it's like, say he said somewhere that Kamala is considering running for governor in California. But I feel like this is kind of like planned. It doesn't make sense. This is my feeling about this. So is this true? Let me just ask. I mean, just say, okay, I'm gonna say, okay, rumors. Let's call it rumors that Kamala could be considering running for California governor. Okay, so I don't feel it, but I just see. So is no.
It's rumor has it, is the song I just heard from Adele. Rumor has it.
So it's like, okay, so is Kamala the current vice president? Yes. Is Kamala considering running for California governor? No. And I see what I see is this is somebody's watching her on stage. And from this person perspective, they are imagining that she could be a governor of California. And then they're trying to turn like, oh, I told their aides that she could really become a governor of California. And then it becomes, how the right wing is always like, how they were like, oh, Biden, they're always so agitating for this type of thing.
Yeah.
So no, I think it's just a rumor and it has nothing to do. No. And saying that she's the type of person who's quite thorough. She would never just like, okay, so I'm going to be governor next. No.
No, exactly. No, that's not coming from her at all. It's coming from somebody else, not her.
All right. So
it's just a narrative.
That's right. So okay, so that's it, right, Karina? That's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
guys. So thank you for watching. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good Sunday evening.